For 20 years, personal finance gurus have been telling you the same thing. The reason you're broke is your $5 coffee. They're wrong. And the math they use to prove it? It's cooked. Like, deliberately misleading cooked. I paid off $14,000 in credit card debt with my daily iced coffee habit fully intact. Never gave it up. Not once. Not negotiating, not apologizing, not feeling guilty. So if you've ever felt bad about a $5 purchase while your bank account was quietly bleeding somewhere else, this video is for you. We're going to look at why that advice is wrong, where your money is actually going, and what to do instead. Because I promise you, it's not the coffee. Let's start with the latte factor itself, because it sounds like math, but it's kind of a sales pitch in a calculator. The classic claim is, spend $5 a day on coffee, invest it instead, and you'll be a millionaire. Except in the original version, that latte got conveniently upgraded. It wasn't just coffee. It was coffee plus a biscotti, plus random little snacks. And then $1,825 a year somehow got rounded up to a nice, clean $2,000. Love that for the spreadsheet. Then there's the return assumption. The original math used about 11% a year. Real, long-term, inflation-adjusted returns are more like 6 to 7%. And most regular people don't even hit the market average. There's a well-known gap between what the market does and what the average investor actually earns. Because we panic sell, we time things wrong, we're human. And here's the biggest gotcha. The millionaire math ignores taxes and inflation. Yes, your 401k grows, but when you pull it out, it's taxed as regular income. And by the time you retire, prices have kept rising, and your million buys you a lot less than it sounds like. Now here's the part that really gets me. $1,825 a year is about 2.3% of a typical U.S. household budget. Housing alone is about 33%. Housing plus transportation is around half of everything you make. So the latte factor sells you discipline as the main lever, when your life is actually being run by 2 or 3 monster categories you're not even looking at. Okay, but even setting the math aside, just cut the latte still backfires for most people, and it's usually for 2 reasons. The first one is money flow. Spending less is not automatically saving more. If you stop buying the $5 coffee, that $5 usually just sits in checking. And when money sits there, it starts to feel like, oh, I've got a little room. So you grab a snack, you do a quick Target run, you pay for delivery because it's been a day. That's balance spending. You were good, and somehow your account still ends the month in the exact same place. The second one is psychological. Frugal fatigue is real. Long-term deprivation doesn't make you disciplined, it makes you tired. And tired people don't carefully optimize, they snap. The coffee wasn't the problem. The "I'm not allowed to have anything" mindset is the problem, because it flips into, fine, then I'm buying everything. When I was paying off my $14,000, I did 3 months of zero fun. And then I dropped $200 on a Dyson hairdryer I've used maybe 5 times. That's not a budget, that's a pressure cooker. A budget with no planned joy isn't discipline, it's a time bomb. Either you leak the money quietly somewhere else, or you blow it loudly later. Either way, the latte was never the real issue. So if I'm not cutting the latte, what am I cutting? The stuff that gives me literally nothing. The invisible money leaks. The auto renewals, the free trial lies, the memberships I pay for like I'm training for the Olympics. Because the numbers on this are embarrassing. The average person is paying around $33 a month in unused subscriptions. That's almost $400 a year. And a huge chunk of people, something like 42%, have straight up forgotten they're still paying for at least one. Streaming is another one. A lot of households are paying for 4 to 6 services, $50 to $70 a month, and most people can feel they're burning money while still scrolling for 20 minutes and rewatching The Office. And the gym? Around 2/3 of members barely go. That's not health, that's I'm paying for my fantasy self, and she is booked and busy. Cable is the final boss. Households pay well over $100 a month on average, and most of it is channels nobody watches. That's over $1,600 a year. A latte is innocent compared to that. This kind of spending isn't fun. It's forgetting, hope, and convenience. And canceling a few of these usually saves more than a year of coffee without making your day worse for one single second. I'll go first. Last year, I found a fitness app I'd been paying for since 2021. $9.99 a month. Never opened. That was Coco's food budget for almost 3 months. Tell me yours. What's the most embarrassing subscription you've ever forgotten you were paying for? Drop it in the comments. I'm not judging. I've clearly lost the right. If you've ever felt guilty about a $5 coffee while stuff like this was sitting in your bank statement, this is your kind of channel. Hit subscribe. I keep it real. Now here's what I actually use instead of guilt. One simple filter that saves more money than swearing off coffee ever will. Before you spend, ask one question. Would I buy this again today if I had to decide fresh? If the answer is, I guess, it's probably not worth keeping on autopilot. Then I run it through 2 quick follow-ups. 1. Does this improve my real life every day or just my fantasy version of me? Because real life is lunch, traffic, laundry. Fantasy me is at the gym at 6 a.m. in matching sets. And again, she is booked and busy. 2. If I cut this, do I actually feel it or does nobody notice? Cuts nobody notices go first. Cuts that hurt need a real payoff. That's it. In 30 seconds, every expense becomes one of 3 things: daily value, status spending, or a quiet leak. Only the last 2 are on the chopping block. Saving money isn't about making yourself smaller. The cuts should hurt the bank, not your day. Okay, the value per dollar thing handles the small stuff, but you can optimize every $10 decision like a budget ninja and still be broke if your big numbers are wrong. So let's talk about the moves that actually shift your life. First, car insurance. Most people who shop around and switch save several $100s a year. Not a daily, be strong thing. It's 2 annoying hours once and then you're done. Patrick switched last month. 1 hour on a laptop, $380 a year saved. And that man hates paperwork like it owes him money. Second, rent. Negotiating works more often than people think, especially if you walk in with comparison data from listings in your area. Even $50 to $200 a month makes your coffee look like spare change. Third, pay. Most people who actually negotiate their salary succeed. Most people just don't ask. A single raise compounded over a career is worth more than every latte you'll ever skip, combined. Personal finance loves coffee because it's easy to preach. The real levers are a little uncomfortable. They take one annoying afternoon, not 365 tiny punishments. Pick one big win per quarter. That's it. Here's what I want you to take with you. Frugal doesn't mean nothing. It means on purpose. A $5 coffee is a want, and wants belong in a healthy budget because you are a human being with a job and a nervous system, not a robot trying to win at suffering. The goal isn't to remove every small good thing from your day. The goal is to keep the little stuff that actually helps you get through your life and cut the quiet money leaks that give you nothing back. So please don't let anybody hand you guilt for a coffee while your bank account is getting drained by stuff you forgot you signed up for. If you do exactly one thing after this video, open your banking app, search subscription or recurring, find one charge you haven't used in the last month and cancel it. That's a real win today. And yes, my iced coffee is still in my budget every single day. Its own line, no discussion.